Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play SimCity 4 with me, X2X. In my last video, my last video, I set up my donut and I sort of got all my power services here. And the reason I separated it out the way I did is because the zoning in this city is going to look a little different, and I'm going to be sort of like working on it. And I wanted to show you guys what I had in mind. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go straight to we're gonna go to our taxation regime before we zone. Alright, and we're gonna put it like that, and we're also gonna go like this. Okay? And like this. I don't want any low wealth commercial services here. And perhaps that's a mistake. Yeah, you know what? That's a mistake. Alright. 9%. I am going to cut taxation on these guys to 8% because they'll pay for themselves. I wonder how much money I lost having on fast forward there. Bunch. Okay, let's get to zoning. I want those lower because I want their demands really high. I want them to be as high as possible because they're going to really help this city. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be zoning, but we need to keep in mind that these are not low and medium wealth sims. These guys are high wealth sims, and they're gonna need to be babysat a little bit. So I'm gonna leave a 2x2 zone like this, which would normally, you would think of that zone sort of like our transit zone, like it has been in previous videos. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a park here. I noticed when I was testing this city, or rather when I was building this city in my own game that I don't play on camera, sort of my own game of SimCity, is that these guys were reluctant to grow without like a lot of big desirability managers around them. So what I'm gonna do is build those. And I'm going to leave one space for every plot for now and see how that goes. If I have to build more, then I'll dezone and build more. But this so far my goal is just to have enough that the high wealth sims want to live there. And some of them are going to overlap, which is fine. I'm okay with a little bit of overlap. I'm okay with a lot of overlap because the parks themselves, you know what, I'm gonna put 2 there. The parks themselves they'll have a cumulative effect, which is a-okay with me. And what I'm trying to do is if you look, I'm trying to put those parks in areas that reach the maximum amount of residential space. High wealth is going to be a lot of work, and because it's going to be a lot of work to convince these guys to move in, that should be fine like that. So like I said, let's build some medium parks. You could use all sorts of things like playgrounds, and flower gardens, and whatever. I like to build parks. All right. We're gonna have to keep track of our money because even though this is a high wealth city, we're gonna have to keep track of our money, but I'll waste a whole bunch. Even though this is a high wealth city, it may not necessarily skyrocket to profitability as fast as some of our other cities have. Okay, so we got all those parks. Let's make sure we take a look. We got all the regions possible that I think we can covered. Alright, now what we need is some high wealth, high density office space, and we're gonna do the same thing with the office space, except instead of putting the parks on the outside like we have here, we're gonna put them on the inside, and we're gonna try to triple dip as much as we can. Okay, so there's a large park. There's a large park. 3 by 3. 3 by 3. Right? And hopefully, you know, we could put in soccer fields there if we wanted. Which, I don't know, maybe we could put in soccer fields. Or is that softball? Yeah, soccer's... Is it 5? It's 5. Alright, no soccer. Maybe large plaza? Yeah, we'll try the large plaza. That kind of looks neat. Right? So we've got a lot of high density commercial. I'm gonna run out of cash. So we're gonna have Sigma. We are gonna have to start making money pretty quick here, because the things we're placing down, the lots we're placing down, these plazas and parks cost money. All right. So the first thing we're gonna need to do, and I'm hoping I didn't build too much, is we need we need to put down our educational infrastructure, our health and wellness. These guys are going to need a fire station, and so I am going to build one. And I am going to build a police station as well, just because high wealth sims, they require a little bit more work. That I'm thinking we can still gain profitability over that without much work. That I'm not too worried about. So we'll be putting a large elementary school in here, so we're saving the space like we normally would. But we are parking the hell out of this place, and that's because the higher wealth you go, you know, sort of the more work it's going to be to get them to live there. All right, we got water. We'll attach it to the power grid, and we're going to let this city grow a bit so that we can make some money, because simoleon levels are plummeting. Alright. And go. And you can see right away that we're getting some nice growth. And alright. Yeah, we don't need to import water, we do need to export garbage, because these guys won't tolerate garbage. And we're pretty close to being profitable. Alright, we got so a couple of things you'll notice right away that we haven't seen before. We got our normal gifts, but we also got the country club, which we will be putting down. I've saved space here for these guys because it's important to have them be central in this city. They got lots of demand. And a ton of demand for everything else. I'm hoping my residential will start to... There we go. Alright, so we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Mainly what I care about is getting to profitability. Oh, we're out of water. And as you increase in the sort of the wealth paradigm, which is a fancy way of saying as you increase the wealth of your Sims, their needs are going to increase, and they're going to be less tolerant of not having their needs immediately met. So it's a good idea for us to continually monitor that. And one thing I'm going to show you that we didn't get in our last videos because we didn't have enough high wealth Sims is the private school. And the private school is great because it costs nothing, and we're going to place that down as fast as we can to try to alleviate some of the demand on our educational infrastructure. Alright, we're going to go to our neighborhood, and yeah, we're going to let a little bit of growth happen. Going to go to our neighborhood deals and take the power, export the garbage. And all this high wealth demand is going to cause our demand for high wealth commercial to just blow up. And that's really what we want, is we want this city to have the maximum amount. Office buildings require a lot of water, by the way. in case you were unawares. I'm taking the growth a little bit slower here because when I sort of did this on my own, what I noticed was that the growth tends to be a little bit more, like a little bit slower. And I didn't want to build more than I could handle. So I want us to be profitable, which we are. We need to place all of these presents we're getting, we need to place really quickly so that we don't hit a cap and get ourselves into big trouble. So we have 15,383 high wealth sims, and I'm starting to suspect our problem is going to become jobs quite quickly. So we're going to do like we did before, except instead of large parks, we're going to try it out with medium and see if medium is big enough. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on some city ordinances now that we're making a ton of money. First thing is going to be this community CPR. We're going to do paper waste recycling. We're going to do free clinic, smoke detector, neighborhood watch, tourism, junior sports. These should all be familiar to you by now. You may say, well, it seems a little early to turn those on, but hey, there's nothing wrong with turning them on. We make the money, we might as well have them going. Alright, build a commercial zone, we need more power. Build more power, and let it grow. Now, let's take a look at our gifts. We got some statues to go down. Since we are the mayor, we're going to put those statues down right beside our house. We've got the cemetery, which can go over here. And this is, it's similar in look and feel to the last city we built. The big difference is going to be, so we've got City Hall. I really like City Hall to be there. It's not going to fit. Yeah, we can put City Hall there. We do want the country club here, really badly. So the country club's going down. Blam! And right next to the country club, we'll put our university. And oh, that killed our power. Oh, I see why. Now, not 100% sure how important it is to make sure these guys get water. But, I mean, there's no harm in actually giving them water, right? I don't know if they cost water or any of that kind of stuff. Now, let's see if that gave us any additional information about our place. I'm guessing that this elementary school is going to take much longer to grow than our normal elementary schools, or rather much longer to exhaust than our normal elementary schools, just because high wealth tends to be less dense. It's not absolutely less dense, but it does tend to be less dense. So right now we have a ton of commercial demand, and I think it's time we built another water pump. You'll notice right away that we're using more water than we have in our previous cities. Probably that's in relation to the commercial. And it's probably a good idea to keep making room for parks. Oops, built too much room. You could build whatever you want. Whatever you want from this tab. I think some are better than others. Honestly, I don't know. And I guess the better question would be that I just don't. I'm just not that big of a min-maxer that I want to sit there and agonize about each individual plot's value. Look at some of those buildings, eh? One of the reasons we're seeing such good growth is because I've brought down the taxes. This guy here is going to be huge. Here we go. Now we're getting some density. Bell towers. Really, really nice big skyscrapers. And we get some high-level commercial offices and all that kind of stuff. You can see we still have plenty of demand in both areas. And that's because we did it right. We made sure that we have a city that's going to be generating all that demand for us, which is our city located here. We can go ahead and we can take a look and see how we're doing. I have a suspicious feeling that traffic is going to be a problem no matter what. It's not too bad. That's a lot better than I thought it would be. And actually what we're going to do is something, so we got our stadium. We're going to do something a little bit different in this city in that we are going to actually probably end up zoning more residential in this plot of the neighborhood. Money in the stock market. I want the stock market next to a bunch of commercial enterprises. So we got a new prep school. We're going to save that new prep school for our other neighborhoods. And we're going to let this growth happen. Now we're really cooking. We got some nice big juicy high density residential buildings which are going to cause the demand for commercial to just go way up. Now we have power problem and we're getting there to the profitable area, and you can see I'm doing all of this without ever touching mass transit. That's an important distinction because these sims don't want to use mass transit. Alright, I think it's about time we added some more commercial into the mix. One of the reasons why I'm building more commercial the way I am is I'd really like to zone more residential in these plots here if I can. Because, as you can see, higher wealth sims don't want nearly as dense a neighborhood. So let's go ahead and adjust our services first. Right, because they've been taxed a little bit. This high school is going to be woefully inadequate, but we're going to have to solve that later. You can see already our private school is totally overwhelmed. Fund that guy. And come down here, we've got our library right there. Make sure your library is full. Education is the #1 way of increasing wealth. And I probably should put something there, but for now, let's go ahead and see how that looks. You know what? No, I'm going to put parks down. I just have this sneaking suspicion that without the parks, the growth won't be as good. And I'd rather put the parks in first than add them later, right? Ooh. This city is using a lot of water. So we're doing a good job. Things are looking good. We're getting lots of high wealth demand, and this is the big one that you guys should be looking at, because we're not going to put any industry in this city. My goal is to have not a single industrial plot go down. It's just going to be skyscrapers. All the industry will be located in somewhere else. It'll be just like, I don't know, New York City and the major industrial center connected to New York City. I'm a Canadian, forgive me. I mean, maybe that's New Jersey, which is why everybody thinks New Jersey sucks. I don't actually know. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna double check because I have a feeling, yeah, our high school's already totally overwhelmed, and we're overfunding that by a lot. How's our university? Well, we don't need that many students. Our average score's 1 under par. I guess that's pretty good. Not if you're a professional golfer. It's not, but it's pretty good otherwise. So, radio station. Radio station really only affects industry, I think I read. And the minor league stadium, because sure they want to watch sports. And that's all I want to put down for there. Alright. Now, I'm not sure what to do about this high school, but I have a feeling what we're going to do is we're actually going to move the police station to here and build a gigantic high school. Because the big high school, it takes 1 extra spot, right? Or maybe it takes 2. Oh, is it 6? That sucks, it is 6. 6, eh? Well... Alright, you know what? I'm gonna fix that right now. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna fix that right now. I'm gonna put the elementary where the high school is. And then... we're going to go... Park. So I don't forget, we'll put in our green parks here. Okay. And then I'm gonna actually go to... Oh, I see. There was a one-way there. We've got some little two-pops here that don't seem to be growing. We can come in later and put something in there if we need to. Like, that would be great for commercial store. I'm gonna put the large high school in. Alright. And then we need to put our house back down. Don't forget about your house. And then it looks like deleting both the statues means we only get one of them, which sucks. I mean, we don't get any of them. Oh. Well, we'll put the large impressive ones there. That's too bad. What are you gonna do? Nothing, that's what. Alright, we'll put down a road. And then we found space for our huge high school. And I'm gonna let that run because I want to accommodate the high school students. Because believe it or not, the growth from those high school students will... put it at about 1,500. How's this guy doing? He's good. Increase his funding so he reaches everywhere. Oh my, wow, that's a lot of Sims. Holy crap. Alright, now that we've got that handled, we've got some jobless widgets going up. Just kind of a problem. Look at these freaking towers. Dang. But we still have high density. And so I'm going to put down 2 big plots of high density right here and right here. And the same thing as I did before. Instead of along the edges... Actually, you know what? No, we're going to put them down here and here. Because we've got a large plaza there. And the same thing, boom boom. Go to here. We're going to get out our medium parks. And those jobless widgets we're going to fix. I don't think we'll get to them in this video. I think in reality what we're going to do is we're going to hit play, we're going to let this grow, and then in our next video we'll break ground on a huge industrial center for high-tech industry. Make sure we get all those power widgets out of there. So we have one jobless widget. That's going to be okay. They're probably complaining about commute time. Saying something like commute time is too long. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and finish off this side by throwing high density industrial right back here. Alright, same thing. We're going to put a large plaza in right here and a large plaza in right here. I may be overkilling it, but when you're sitting with 13,000 simoleons profit every month, you can afford to be spendy. And I mean, if you guys look, this city looks really nice. I mean, the city itself looks pretty impressive in terms of what's been, you know, what type of commercial and residential growth we've been able to extract out of here. So now we have, oh, no, jobless widgets going up and down. Just gonna let it grow. High wealth is a little bit slower. These commercial zones, I'm hoping, will just continue to grow up. we still have maximum high wealth services and high wealth offices, so. In fact, what we're gonna do right now is put the last zones in. Make sure I got high density there. Yeah, that looks okay. And then, no, playground is not the right one. Green park there, green park there, green park there, and a green park right there. Alright, we'll hit play. And hopefully we'll get some growth. That's what I don't want to see, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully those guys will grow up and everything will be good. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the video there. In our next video, we're going to take care of that big yellow thing, which is probably a full city's worth of high-tech industrial. But for right now, what we've got ourselves, we've got about 50,000 high-wealth sims. We have a ton of money and a ton of high-wealth commercial jobs. If we take a look, I bet you that's probably more high-wealth commercial jobs than we have sims. Yep, 82,275 high-wealth commercial positions, which is great. Couldn't be better. Hopefully this tantalizes you guys into seeing just how great this city's going to be, and I hope you'll join me next time for Let's Play SimCity 4 with me, X2X. Thanks for watching.